morning, students. I hope you all are doing good. Last class I was discussing about transpiration, and I told you types of transpiration. Just I will revise the topic. What is transpiration? I told you on the day loss of water in form of water vapor through stomata is transpiration. And there are three types of transpiration I told. Somatal transpiration, lenticel transpiration, and cuticle transpiration. Somatal transpiration happens through stomata, lenticel through lenticels, then cuticle to the through the waxy layer or outer covering of the epidermis. Through that the transpiration happens, then it is cuticle transpiration. So now I am going to move on to what are the factors which affect transpiration. Factors affect transpiration. So transpiration is very important for the plant. I told you on that day, if the water is lost, the plant will be healthy, because if excess water is stored in the plant, it will be making the cells to be getting bulger and maybe damaging the cells. So there are some factors which affect transpiration. First one we can consider as temperature. Temperature is one of the factors which affects transpiration. Then second one is humidity. Then third one is wind. Then fourth one is soil water. So these are the four factors which affect transpiration: temperature, humidity, wind, soil water. I will explain you how it affects the transpiration. So first, if you are taking temperature, if the temperature is high, example during a hotty day, if you are taking a plant during a hotty day in the afternoon, if you are looking the plant, I told you that the plant seems to be wilting, seems to be unhealthy. That is due to excess loss of water. It means that the uptake of water is less comparing to the outgoing of the water through leaf. So this the water which is going out of the leaf and water which is taken by the root should be balanced. If it is not balanced, the plant seems to be wilting, seems to be unhealthy. So temperature, how it affects? So when the temperature is increased, automatically rate of transpiration will also increase. This is how it affects. So when temperature is increased, it means when temperature is high, the rate of transpiration will also high. Rate of transpiration means that amount of water going out of the plant through stomata will also increase. So it means that water taken by the root will be less comparing to water going out through the leaf. So when the excess water is going out through the leaf, due to high temperature, it will affect transpiration, it will affect the plant. Then another one point, in high temperature, the stomata will open excess. So when the stomata is opened wider, more amount of water will be lost. That's another one point. So somehow temperature will affect rate of transpiration. When temperature is increased, the rate of transpiration will also increase. This is one point. Then second one is humidity. I think you all know the word humidity. Humidity means in the atmosphere, if water content is high, then it is said to be humidity. After raining, if you are going out, you feel to be very cool. That's the reason. Because of the reason, the atmosphere is filled with water vapors. So when water vapor humidity is high, when humidity is high in atmosphere, automatically the rate of transpiration will decrease. Decrease in transpiration. So I will tell you what is humidity. I told you humidity means in the atmosphere the amount of water vapor content is said to be a humidity. So when humidity is amount of water vapor is high in atmosphere, automatically transpiration rate will decrease, because transpiration is happened due to the process diffusion. I told diffusion means that movement of water molecules moving from higher movement of molecules moving from higher concentration to its lower concentration. So here, after raining, the atmosphere will be fully filled with water vapors, and the atmosphere will be high amount of water vapor comparing to the comparing to the water present in the plant. So that's the reason that in humidity, when the humidity is high, automatically decrease in transpiration will take place. So this is one factor which affect transpiration. Then second one is wind. Third one is wind. During heavy windy days or speedy wind is there, not the light breeze. If it is heavy winding, automatically the wind will wash away the waters present in the top of the leaf. So when the water is taken away or washed away from the top of the leaf, when it is heavy wind, automatically the transpiration rate will also increase. So that's it is considered as one of the factors which affect transpiration. So when it is heavy wind or the wind blows very speedy, it increases the transpiration by taking away excess of waters or taking away the waters present in the surface of the leaf, then soil water. So if a plant is living in a dry condition, under the soil there won't be enough amount of water, so the root can't absorb enough amount of water, so intake of water will be less. So when intake of water is less, automatically transpiration will also decrease. So this is another factor. It means that if the soil contains enough amount of water, transpiration will happen in amount. If the soil contains less amount of water, transpiration will happen less, because of the reason root is not absorbing the water, because of the reason that in the soil there is enough amount of not enough amount of water. So these are the four factors which affect the rate of transpiration. First one is temperature, then humidity, wind, soil water. Temperature means that when the temperature is increased, rate of transpiration will increase. When humidity is high, decrease in transpiration. When wind is speedy in nature, automatically transpiration will also increase. Then soil water, when the water content in the soil is less, automatically transpiration will also decrease. So by this, the whole topic is over. I think the whole topic is over, and I taught you all the things in this topic. If you feel any doubt, you can ask me. I will revise the topic, just I will give hints. I started from transportation of materials. Transportation in plants. This is the first topic I taught you, and when I told this transportation, I told there are three processes in transportation. They are osmosis, diffusion, then active transport. Active transport. These three processes I told you when I was teaching first. So transportation means transporting the materials which contains minerals, water, etc. from the soil or from plant from one part to another part. So for that they need three processes: osmosis, diffusion, active transport. Osmosis means movement of water molecules from higher concentration to lower concentration. Diffusion means movement of molecule from higher concentration to lower concentration. Then active transport is movement of molecule from low concentration to high concentration using energy. So these two are not active transport, these two are called as passive transport. Passive, and this one is active because it is moving from low to high using energy. Here in this process no need of energy. It means that it moves from high to low. And I told you, for example, osmosis, if you are cutting a piece of potato into small pieces, and before putting in water you have to take weight of the potato, then you have to put it in water. After 24 hours if you are taking the weight again, you can feel that potato will be increased in weight. That's the reason, because of the reason that water enters into the potato by osmosis. Then another example I told you, diffusion. If you are taking a perfume bottle and spraying in one corner, you will feel a smell in another corner, because of the reason that from one corner it is spreading over the other corner due to diffusion. That is what movement of molecule from high concentration to low concentration. Then active transport, I told you example. Today if you are putting some minerals to the soil and the plant is taking it, again if you are putting tomorrow the same minerals to the soil, the plant will take, because if they are excess in the soil, it will take excess. That's the reason that is happened due to active transport. So these are the three processes I told. Then I told what are the two main tissues which is used for transportation. I told you xylem and phloem. Xylem and phloem are the main two tissues used for transportation, and I told xylem is used for carrying water H2O from root to soil, root to the leaf, and phloem is used to carry food from the leaf to all part of the plant, leaf to all parts. So xylem is like a long tube which is connected from root to the leaf tip, and phloem is also a long tube which connected from leaf to all part of the plant. So using xylem, water will be taken from the xylem contains four types of cells: xylem parenchyma, xylem vessel, xylem tracheids, and xylem fibers. Then coming to phloem, there are phloem parenchyma, then sieve plate, then companion cells. So xylem is like a long tube without any end plate. So the flow of water will be from root to the leaf. Then here phloem will contain small filters, small sieve plates in between it to filter the food particles and pass away it. So here the xylem is used to carry water, phloem is used to carry food. So these are the two conducting tissues which present in the plant, throughout the plant. Then coming back to next, I told you that function of xylem, then function of phloem. Then I told you that here the photosynthesis will happen. Phloem will be producing food will be produced by the process of photosynthesis. For photosynthesis, they need carbon dioxide, then plus water, then sunlight, then chlorophyll gives glucose plus oxygen. So here carbon dioxide enters into the plant through the leaf, that is small opening called as stomata, by the process of diffusion. Then water enters into the plant from the root through the process of osmosis. Sunlight, chlorophyll is green in color which absorbs the light, and with the help of this photosynthesis will happen and glucose will be produced. Glucose formula C6H12O6. This glucose will be transported from the leaf to all part of the plant through phloem cells. Then oxygen will be released out. Oxygen is released out through the stomata. So this also happened by the process of diffusion. So this I told you. Then I told transpiration. Transpiration, I told you the amount of water lost in the form of water vapor is transpiration. Transpiration, I told you. Amount of water vapor lost in the form of water vapor is transpiration, and I told you that there are three types of transpiration: stomatal, lenticel, then cuticle. Stomatal means small holes which is present under the leaf is called the stomata, and if the transpiration happened through the stomata, then it is called the stomatal transpiration. Lenticel means in an old plant, a bark or trunk of the plant will be broken, small pits will be there. In between the pits, the transpiration will happen, that is a lenticel transpiration. Then if you are taking a leaf structure, the outer covering is cuticle, and with the help of cuticle, if the transpiration happened, then it is cuticle transpiration. And here if you are taking the leaf, more stomata will be present under the leaf, not in the top, because to avoid excess amount of water lost. Then cuticle is present in the lenticel will be present in the barks, small pits. Then cuticle will be present here. If you are drawing like this is epidermis, and above the epidermis which protect a waxy layer is called as cuticle, and with the help of this cuticle, transpiration happened, then it is cuticle transpiration. Then today I told you rate of transpiration will be affected by four processes, that is temperature, wind speed, humidity, then soil water. So by this topic is over, and I will give you the notes which is the present which some questions which is present in your book bag. So once it is ready, I will send you through WhatsApp. So thank you. If you have any doubt, you can ask me later when I am coming in soon. Thank you.